Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and today we're looking at the Steinhart Ocean 39 Explorer. This is a Gnomon exclusive. Price for this watch is $539. On the Oyster bracelet, which is here, and then it's an additional $70 for the Jubilee bracelet. I actually traded another watch for this watch, so I'm at least the second owner. I did not buy this new. I have worn it on both bracelets. I prefer the feel and I think also the look of the Jubilee, but I think the Oyster would be more correct. This is based on or modeled after an obscure version of the Submariner. I believe it was the 66 to 67 Submariner. And it's a cool looking watch for obvious reasons. It's, again, like I said, based on that particular Submariner. I think the Fotina is taken a little bit too far. I would like it a little more white colored than this tan color. But other than that, I like this watch. I've worn it for quite a few weeks on both bracelets. I think I'll eventually be moving it on as I have way too many watches, but a hard decision to make. You can see the Lume pip also is the same fake patina Lume. We do have an aluminum bezel insert, domed sapphire crystal with AR coating. And that's another complaint of mine is I'm really not a fan of domed crystals anymore. I much prefer sapphire crystals. I don't like seeing this kind of reflection on the sides of this. Even if it does have good AR coating, you're always going to get some kind of disturbance, not really disturbance, but other stuff in the dial when you're trying to tell the time. 120 click bezel. No complaints with the bezel action. Nice and easy to use. The case shape is a little flat. You see that here, but it still does wear comfortably on wrist. You can see on the dial here it says 100 meter water resistance. That's not true. It's actually 300 meters water resistance, just like all the other Steinhart Ocean 39 models. I believe they just have that on there for historical purposes. Try to more so replicate what this watch is based off of. I think it still says 100 meter on the case back here. Let's open up the clasp and take a closer look at the case back. You can see there, Swiss made by Steinhart exclusively for Gnomon. I'll leave a link in the description to the website. Stainless steel, sapphire crystal, Swiss automatic movement, Ocean 39. So it doesn't mention the water resistance on the case back here. In any case, 100 meter is perfectly fine for my needs. It does have a signed screw down crown, drilled lugs, which I really appreciate, for changing out the bracelet, which I will do here in a moment off camera. I'll show it to you on the Oyster bracelet as well. You can see we do have solid end links, solid links. They are held in place by screws. Do have a combination stamped and milled clasp here. I would like it if they could update the clasp, but it wears just fine on wrist. Do have the 4 micro adjusts, and this is a brushed bracelet. The top of the case is brushed. The sides are polished, as you have already seen here. So this is old radium Lume on the dial. We'll check out the Lume at the end of the video. I will compare it to my SKX. Actually, let me show that to you here side by side for size reference. So you can see 39 millimeter versus 42. It's a little deceiving because the bezel on this one overhangs and the bezel on the SKX is smaller than the case, so the case is wider than the bezel. And both on Jubilee style bracelets. This one is just a jingle jangle bracelet, hollow links and push pins, but one of my favorite watches and one of my favorite bracelets. So maybe that's why I'm partial to this one on the 5-link bracelet here. So we do have a SW200 Elabore movement. Elabore is upgraded. It has the better finished movement, and I believe it's a little more accurate as well. 316L stainless steel. Oh, it also does have the female end links, so that also aids to the comfort on my small wrist. And the 3-link bracelet also does have the female end links. Actually, let's show you the end links here. I like to keep my extra links in the bag, but you can see it does have the female end links, and I'll show that to you in a moment here. So let me put this on wrist right after I talk about the specs. So lug to lug, 47.3 millimeter. Case diameter, as I mentioned, 39 millimeter. Thickness is a little bit thicker than what I think it should be. It's at 14.5, but again, 300 meter water resistance, even though it does say 100 on the dial. Speaking of the dial, again, everything is printed on here. Nothing is applied to that dial. 20 millimeter lugs, and it does taper down nicely to 16. I really appreciate that. I like at least 4 millimeters of taper. I think that's the sweet spot. So 22 down to 18 or 20 down to 16 in this case here. 6.3 millimeter crown, not 16. 6.3 millimeter crown, and it weighs in at 147 grams. So let me get this on wrist, and then I will pause the video and switch out the bracelet and put it on the Oyster. So here we go, a little bit zoomed out on my 6.5 inch wrist with 52 millimeter wristband. Again, 47.3 lug to lug on here. Looks like we're out of focus here. There we go. I think we're... Alright, I think we're in a little bit better focus there. And let's zoom in. Oop, wrong way. There we go. Much better. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and it really does help me out. Alright, let's pause the video and we'll swap out the bracelet. And here it is on the 3-link bracelet, the Oyster style bracelet here. So again, you do have solid end links, solid links, held in place with screw pins. You also do get 2 half links with this 3-link bracelet. Not sure what happened there. Anyway, got a little bit of gunk on there, I guess. And we do have the same milled clasp, and then these 2 portions are stamped. So let me get this on wrist. Something a little bit screwy too about this is the safety clasp is polished, and then the rest of it's brushed. So anyway, let's get this on wrist. Here's the other half link. So this one at least came with 2 half links. Again, we do have that female center link on the end link there. So it wears very comfortably on wrist. Again, that domed crystal, I just don't like seeing all this stuff off here in the background, or off to the side, so you can see my studio lights there. All right, let's pause the video and take a look at the Lume. So we have the Steinhart Ocean 39 on the left, as you can of course tell, and on the right I have my Seiko SKX. The Lume on the Steinhart is actually a little better than I was expecting, but it does seem to be fading a bit here, and by eye I would say, you know, it's hard to judge. I guess they are pretty closely matched. Maybe the Seiko has a little bit better Lume, but it's hard to say. So I guess I would say they're even. The Lume pip on the Steinhart does look to be brighter. It's larger, so that helps in that. Well, that will conclude this video. As always, thank you for your time, and thank you for watching.